Balloon 22 Hot Air Balloon Design Systems and Theory. In the world of hot air ballooning, various equipment and accessories are instrumental in ensuring a safe and effective operation. One such essential is the drop line, a helpful tool during the landing phase. This line enables the ground crew to assist the pilot, particularly in scenarios involving confined landing areas or when relocating the balloon for deflation and retrieval. A well-designed drop line is equipped with a quick-release provision, easy deployment, and recovery features, making it effortless for the ground crew to handle. Many opt for webbing material due to its strength, although it can be a bit challenging to roll up. Alternatively, half-inch nylon braid is a popular choice, known for its strength and ease of storage in a bag. Gloves are another critical component of safety equipment. Pilots and crew members are encouraged to wear gloves whenever handling balloon equipment. The right pair of gloves can significantly reduce the risk of injuries when dealing with ropes, cables, and bag handles. In the event of a small fuel leak at a burner fitting, gloves can serve as a protective barrier against potential disasters. Optimal gloves should be made of light-colored smooth leather to reflect and deflect propane, with a gauntlet style covering the wrist. It's advisable to avoid synthetic materials that may melt in heat. For refueling operations, a second pair of gloves made from appropriate rubberized material with a looser fit can be employed. Ensuring the safety of everyone on board is paramount, and this includes protective headgear. Helmets are often mandated by balloon manufacturers, especially in high wind conditions, providing protection against impact injuries. Storing helmets in a bag that can be carried either inside or outside the basket, depending on passenger count and available space, is a prudent practice. Moreover, being prepared for unforeseen circumstances is a hallmark of a responsible balloon operator. Carrying spares in the chase vehicle or within easy reach is a proactive measure. These spares include local and aeronautical maps, a helium tank and piebles or pilot balloons, quick pins and carabiners, gloves and helmets, envelope fabric and or patches, refueling adapters, a spare tire for the trailer, extra fuel for the fan, and additional strikers or igniters. These spare items act as a safety net, ensuring readiness for any challenges encountered during the balloon journey. Flying a balloon involves obtaining specific certificates and documentation. One crucial document is the Airworthiness Certificate issued by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, after a thorough inspection. This certificate confirms that the balloon meets the requirements outlined in 14 CFR Part 31 and is in a safe operational condition. The Airworthiness Certificate must be visibly displayed within the aircraft during operation, ensuring passengers and crew can easily access it. It's worth noting that when selling the balloon to a foreign purchaser, the Airworthiness Certificate does not transfer. For balloons falling under the normal category for manned free balloons, a standard Airworthiness Certificate is issued. This certificate remains effective as long as the balloon receives necessary maintenance and stays appropriately registered in the United States. Balloons falling under classifications other than standard, such as experimental or restricted, are issued a special Airworthiness Certificate. Potential buyers of non-standard balloons are advised to consult their local Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, Flight Standards District Office to understand airworthiness requirements and associated limitations. In addition to the Airworthiness Certificate, there's the Certificate of Aircraft Registration, a crucial document for legal balloon flight. This certificate, carried in the aircraft at all times, serves as evidence of registration with the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, Civil Aviation Registry. It becomes invalid under specific circumstances, such as when the aircraft is registered under a foreign country's laws, is destroyed, ownership changes, or the holder loses United States citizenship. When a change in ownership or other specified events occur, the previous owner must notify the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, filling in the back of the Certificate of Aircraft Registration and mailing it to the Civil Aviation Registry in Oklahoma City. The pink copy of the application for a Certificate of Aircraft Registration serves as temporary authorization to operate an unregistered aircraft for up to 90 days. Owners or operators of aircraft, including balloons, bear responsibilities like maintaining current airworthiness certificates and certificates of aircraft registration within the aircraft. They are also tasked with ensuring the aircraft remains airworthy, adhering to all applicable airworthiness directives, recording maintenance properly, staying informed about current regulations, and promptly notifying the Federal Aviation Administration of any changes such as address, sale, export, or loss of eligibility for registration according to 14 CFR Part 47, Section 4741. Now, let's discuss about keeping those balloons flying safe and sound. Maintenance is the name of the game, covering everything from inspections to part replacements. You want that balloon to be not just good, but top-notch throughout its flying life, right? That's where manuals from the manufacturers come into play, giving us the lowdown on how to keep our balloons in tip-top shape. Now, when it comes to inspections, it's on the owner or operator to make sure the balloon stays airworthy. We're talking about fixing up any defects pronto and making sure fabric damage stays within the limits set by the manufacturer. The annual inspection is a big deal, especially if you're using the balloon for business or pleasure. It's got to be done by a certified repair station, the manufacturer, or an airframe and power plant mechanic with an inspection authorization. And remember, it's a 12-month deal, so don't let it slip your mind. If you're carrying passengers for hire or giving flight instruction for hire, that 100-hour inspection is a must. Get that done within the last 100 hours of service and you're good to go. And here's a little secret. You can swap it out with an annual inspection or an inspection for getting that airworthiness certificate. Before you take off, you've got to do a pre-flight inspection. Think of it as giving your balloon a once-over before the big journey. The flight manual is your guide here, and it usually tags along with the layout and inflation process. A checklist is your best bud for this. Now, preventive maintenance is your playground. If you're the proud owner or operator with at least a Federal Aviation Administration private pilot certificate with a balloon rating, you can handle tasks like replacing safety wiring, lubing things up, fixing small fabric tears, and giving the basket a fresh coat if needed. When it comes to bigger fixes or changes, there are major and minor repairs or alterations. Major ones need the nod from a certified repair station, an airframe and power plant mechanic with an inspection authorization, or someone representing the big shots. Minor tweaks can get the green light with the right entries in the maintenance records. Airworthiness directives, ADs, are the rules of the game. They're there to keep things safe by fixing any issues that might be lurking. It's up to the owner or operator to keep tabs on these and make sure the balloon is up to snuff. So maintaining these flying wonders involves a bit of everything. Inspections and some pro help when needed. It's a shared effort between owners, operators, and the aviation pros to keep those balloons sailing smoothly through the skies. Choosing the right balloon is a big deal in the world of aviation. You've got your type-certificated balloons, the ones that have passed the Federal Aviation Administration's rigorous tests and earned their stripes. The size of a balloon is rated by its envelope volume, and you'll find various categories defined in metric units. Picture this. Different balloon sizes offer different perks. Smaller ones are often seen as more manageable, easy to fly and pack up. On the flip side, the bigger balloons are fuel efficient, cooler in operation, and tend to have a longer lifespan. Now, the choice of size depends on what you're planning to do with your balloon. Smaller ones might be the go-to for competitions and sport flying, while larger ones make sense for higher elevations, hot climates, or carrying more passengers. The chart lays it all out for you. When it comes to buying a balloon, you've got the classic decision between new and used. The cost is the obvious factor here. Some new pilots start with a used balloon to get the hang of things and then upgrade to a new one once they've got their bearings. Before you go all in on a used balloon, though, there's a crucial step. Make sure it's airworthy. You don't want to end up with an aircraft that's seen better days. Have it inspected by a reputable repair station or a qualified inspector to be on the safe side. And then there are the brands. The level of after-sales service matters a lot. What's the local repair station's take on different brands? Do they stock parts for just one brand? How about the manufacturer? Do they support older balloons with parts and fabric, or is it all reserved for the shiny new ones? Consider factors like flying altitude, climate, and component interchangeability too. But here's the golden rule. Talk to people who fly different kinds of balloons for different purposes. Crewing for them is a fantastic way to soak up knowledge and make an informed decision when it's time to pick your first balloon. All right, wrapping up this chapter, we've dived into common ballooning terms, untangled some confusing aviation jargon, explored the physics of hot air ballooning, and covered the nitty-gritty of support equipment. Oh, and don't forget about propane. It's a key player in the ballooning world. Take a good look at the documentation and inspection requirements, because every pilot should have their head wrapped around these aspects.